Okay, first, hello. This is Todd, and I've been having some conversations with some fellow um, houndsmen on some of the little extra things you can get out of base camp. Um, Kind of help you analyze what your dogs are doing a little bit more, playing around with it. Just want to show a few things that I've learned that make this video so that others can see it, and then hopefully they can play around with it themselves a little bit. Now you get started with plugging in your handheld, obviously, to your computer cord, and it's the same as your charge port on the back down there. Plug it into the USB on a computer, and then when it's found through your computer explorer, you go up to, and I'm going to try to zoom in as much as I can for all the individual steps, but it's kind of hard holding the thing. But you go up to device, and then receive from device, but it's telling me there's no device connected. But then you'll transfer, and then you'll see a menu pop up over on the left hand side of, like I put a lot of mine, I put in the rabbit hunting, but it'll be by date, by time you downloaded the event. And if you notice, as I click, let me zoom out of my, as I click, the screen changes for what information it shows you. Let's see there. Now there's no. So whatever you download on that particular day is when you'll find things. And then here's some races. So once you get the tracks transferred onto your GPS, onto your base camp from your GPS, over here on the left hand side is the menu of all the waypoints and things that you save or you mark and what have you. Then you get into these here, which are the tracks of your dogs, or by whatever name you would have your collars named as. I got Pearl, Opal, and Ivy are my three hounds. And if you look at the screen, it's really showing all of their tracks. But I could have it show just one track. Well, now we just jumped up into northern Michigan, but here's another day of racing around, dogs chasing a hare, hare chases, and I highlighted Ivy, and Ivy is the one that is showing up, and I'll highlight it. If I knock that off and I try to pick just Pearl, then Pearl shows up and it's highlighted, and then so for whatever dog. Now when you double click this track, you get a menu, and it looks like this, and it kind of gives you a breakdown of each point, a numerical sequencing of points that it logs, leg distance and leg time, leg speed. That doesn't mean dog leg, that just means stretch. Leg course, and then it gives you the time, the date and the time of that breadcrumb. I like to use the word breadcrumb. That's the old term that they use for running trails. But there's a time, and you can see that it'll show based off of what you have your GPS set at. But so I got the 2.5 seconds. So basically there's 2 seconds, and then there's 3, and then there's 2, and then there's 3, and it's pretty consistent that way all the way down. So if you're interested in, I had one gentleman ask me, well, I want to make a note of something happening out there, and I want to make a note of the time frame. Can I go here and find out what happened at that time frame? And the answer is yes. I wasn't sure when we were running last weekend of the right answer for that, but I say yes. So like I'm saying, okay, well, let's say I want to know when the dog was at 9 miles per hour, and I can come over and I can just click that. And when I click it, you grab your screen and move it up out of the way. And let me zoom out of here. Oh, I'm sorry, I messed it up. Get it there. If I still got that highlighted, let's say 13. When a dog was running 13, it shows that little, I don't know if you can see it, has a little orange circle right there. So that's when it's telling me at that point, and you can, there's a little red dot right in the center that you would see a little red dot. That's the exact location at the time the GPS recorded that from the satellites. So you can say, okay, in that stretch, that's where your dog was running like that. Now the next point is 4 point, I went from the 13 to the 4.4 miles per hour. And then you look over here and you can see on the screen where she was running up through here and she got to where it registered a speed of 13, but then she slowed down to a 4. So something happened with descent or a little turn, because there's a little bit of a turn that slowed her down. I don't know, but it gives me an idea what took place there. So then you can also go to up here at the graph tab, and let me zoom out of this a little bit, and it gives you the full race of what your dog ran up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And so this kind of goes into the description that we call gears, right? Dogs always have gears. Every race, they're in gears. They go from first down here at 0 mile an hour, 0 miles per hour, up to 6 speed, and up to 15 mile an hour, you know, up and down, 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 up and down. All the while, they're running the rabbit. So depending on a lot of factors that you all are well aware of, creates the dog to have to stop and go and figure things out. Another option you can do with this is you got this on track here, got this track all highlighted. And if I don't know if these little arrows are zooming, but you can go up here at the very top of the screen and have play. When I do play, it puts an arrow, a big arrow on the screen, and the arrow follows the track exactly how the dog was running. And then you can go up here and you can speed it up to going, so I catch it in time to show you. So you can kind of follow to see what the dog was doing, how it actually ran the track. So if you remember some areas, or if you're trying to figure out what the dog was going on in a certain area, you can come back and you can look, and it can kind of help you try to determine what was going on. So that's another option that you have, and then you can just stop it when you're done. So that's just about it. Just wanted to show you that. So when you get Basecamp, get all downloaded stuff, get your stuff transferred from your GPS, and then start looking at things for what your races were like on that day, and you can save them. This will always be here up in my menu. I always go back to it, take whatever time I need to evaluate it, what have you. The next day, I'll transfer from my device, and I'll just put a new menu in here with a date and time, and then all the information on my GPS at that time will be saved, and it'll look similar to this. So a lot of it's duplicate stuff. Like these are all my bird's eye downloads that are on my handheld. These are tracks, some waypoints that I saved, and things that I like to identify while I'm out there, and then parking areas and stuff. So I always have that in memory. Should you have a crash with your GPS, whatever the case may be, you can always come back, highlight this area up here, and transfer it hit send to, and I would look for my device, which isn't hooked up right now, but if it was, it would show up down here, and I would just transfer it back to my device after the crash or hard reset, whatever the case may be, and you would have all this data saved and be able to put it right back into it again. And who cares about the track so much, but it's the other things, your waypoints, your parking spots, that kind of stuff. It'll all be saved. You won't lose any of it. Okay, so I hope that I think it would help a little bit, and I hope that you play with it a little bit more and get as much use out of your software as you can. There's some more tracks at a different spot that we run, and so forth. Okay, well, thanks for listening, and have yourself a good evening.